Thanks for staying tuned. I'm Stanford Howard with the HGP Sportscast. We begin with hockey. The Guyana men and women opened their bids to qualify for the CAC Games in Colombia in July 2018 on Sunday at the Jamaican hockey pitch at Mona, UWI campus. More in this report. With the national men taking the field for the very first match in the competition against Puerto Rico, it took some time for the team to adjust to the artificial turf condition. Puerto Rico had the better of the start in the match, and Guyanese goalkeeper Medor Scotland was called to action several times during the opening minutes of play. The men settled and balanced the play by the halfway mark, with the scores remaining at 0-0. The second half would quickly bring that all-important breakthrough for Guyana, however, as their penalty corner was blocked by a Puerto Rican goalkeeper, but subsequently put away by Mark Sargent 1 minute after resumption. Jaram Hassan made it 2-0 for Guyana in a similar fashion 4 minutes later, by which time Guyana seemed to grow in confidence and composure. Although Puerto Rico Otos Florenco managed to pull one back through a penalty corner in the 38th minute, 2 field goals from Captain Robert France and Audrey Bancroft kept Guyana comfortably in control and saw them through to a 4-1 victory. The Guyanese women took to the field in the opening ladies fixture against relative newcomers to hockey, Panama. It only took the Guyanese ladies 6 minutes to get on the scoreboard, as Carenza Fernand's drive up the right side was finished off by Shabiki Baptiste, sweep for the opening goal. Adding to her assists, Fernand, Glenn, and Fitog added to Guyana's tally via 2 field goals and 1 more penalty corner goal. Guyana therefore managed to secure a comfortable 6-0 victory at full time. For HGP Sports, I'm Stanford Howard. In football, Sophia Primary ousted by West Wrongville Primary, and Tugville Primary railroaded Den Amstel Primary in the Courts Pee Wee 2017 semi-finals on Saturday. More in this report. When the Courts on the 11 Pee Wee Schools Football Tournament semi-finals got underway last Saturday, Tugville Primary handed Den Amstel Primary a schoolboys whipping. It was a goalless first half, but Carlo Negas was the star of the game, hitting a triple in the second half in the 22nd, 28th, and 40th minutes. Ryan Green and Samuel Tinch in the 25th and 31st minute, respectively, secured a 5-0 victory against Den Amstel. Sophia Primary, regarded as one of the best teams in the tournament, lost their first game of the tournament to West Wrongville in a pins and needle match. West Wrongville's Ian Daniels opened their account in the 2nd minute of play, but Sophia David Weeks, with a trick of his own, scored in the 5th minute. But Daniels scored again for West Wrongville for the win, 2-1. Other results on Saturday. Good fortune. For HGP Sports, I'm Stanford Howard. In cricket, defending champions Guyana Floodlights made it to a double win with a 9-wicket victory over the Regal Masters when the 7th annual Guyana Softball Cup came to an end at the DCC ground on Sunday evening. Here's Colwyn with more.
The defending champions made light work of the Regal Masters, who won the Prime Minister's trophy just a week ago. Regal Masters made a moderate score of 101 for 9 in their allotted 20 overs. They suffered a shattering opening to their innings with the fall of Mahesh Chunilal for duck, bowled by Clyde Canterbury, and then Mahendra Hardial, who also went out for duck, run out at the non-striker's end without facing a delivery. The road became even more bricky when David Harpal and skipper Mahendra Arjun ended up in the same crease to record a second run out with just 4 runs on the board in the second over. Arjun and Ian Abel tried desperately to mend the innings, adding 45 for the 4th wicket before Abel departed. After that, wickets kept falling regularly. At the end of Regal's innings, they had lost hope and had clearly thrown in the towels and accepted defeat. Floodlights opened their innings very brightly and rushed to their target in 12.3 overs, with opener Yunus Youssef unbeaten on an attractive 61, decorated with 6 fours and 2 sixes. Floodlights walked away with the Masters Trophy and $600,000, along with bragging rights for the next year. For the HGP Sports, Colwyn Abrams.
Thank you, Colwyn. The West Indies Cricket Board announced its test squad for the tour of New Zealand. The selection panel of the Cricket West Indies has announced a 15-member squad for the 2-test series on the tour of New Zealand starting later this month, the squad reads. The only change to the squad that earned a 1-0 series victory in Zimbabwe is manifested in Sunil Ambrose replacing Kyle Hope. The team will have a training camp until November 21st in Brisbane, Australia, before flying across to New Zealand. More cricket news. West Indies A win to level the ODI series against Sri Lanka A after losing the first ODI and no play in the second one in Jamaica. The Windies A managed 152 from their allotted 50 overs on Sunday in the third and final match of the series, with Shamar Brooks being the only batsman with a decent double score of 35 runs. Sri Lanka A was bowled out for 107 runs. And to end the sportscast, World Archery Barbados coaches held training program over the weekend to assist Archery Guyana with the development of the sports. More from Colwyn Abrams.
The Barbadian coaches, Mr. Ronald Field, Mr. Thomas Field, Miss Rebecca Wiltshire, and Mr. Dwayne Grosvenor, conducted coaching and training sessions with Archery Guyana over the weekend. The aim is to strengthen relations between the WAB and Archery Guyana. President of Archery Guyana, Mrs. Vidushi Prasad McKinnon, expressed delight to have the coaches here in Guyana. She noted that Mr. Dwayne Grosvenor is also Guyanese living in Barbados, and she said was happy to have him back home to help his country. Mrs. Prasad McKinnon hopes that in the near future, Guyanese archers can travel regionally and internationally to participate in competitions. It is envisioned that Guyana can host major regional competitions, which can tremendously boost Guyana's visibility and encourage sports tourism. For the HGP Sports, Colwyn Abrams.
Thank you, Colwyn. And that has brought us to the end of this edition of the HGP Sportscast. But before we go, remember, you can put a limit on anything. The more you dream, the farther you get. Back to you, Travis.